those 10 years?
Okay, this is a very interesting journey, and I have been fortunate enough to be involved in Maximo implementation and ADEWA in one capacity or the other since the last 10 years. Actually, you have to see the context, two contexts when you look at maintenance implementation of Maximo in ADEWA. One is the way the organization has changed over the last 10 years, and the second part is how people have changed over the last 10 years. And it has been a very interesting journey. When we implemented Maximo, ADEWA did not even know what assets were there on the ground and how they were tagged. And they were very, very fragmented and different business processes across many of its companies. So what Maximo did for them is we calculated, created a database of all the assets, we created a database of all the spares, and we tried to implement and give some discipline around the maintenance practices. At that point in time, the people were absolutely not PC literate, because we are talking something 10 years ago. And when we started Maximo training, we realized that people don't even know how to operate a PC. So we had to go and design a course which was called International Computer Driving License at that point in time. And that was a prerequisite before people could take a Maximo course. And it was basically trying to get to people to use the system and to implement basis processes was our goal in the first few years of operations. As we moved on, we upgraded Maximo from version 4 to Maximo version 5.2. And at that point in time, ADEWA had matured a little bit, and it was going to a reorganization and a restructuring from a maintenance-centric organization to a strategic asset management organization, where you have got concepts of asset owner and a service provider in place. And Maximo played a very critical role at that point in time, because Maximo 5 introduced workflows, and we used workflows to streamline the processes which were initially implemented in version 4. And the users were more educated, and we used the opportunity to introduce a lot of optimization around inventory and workforce management. Now we are in a different level of the company, and we have now implemented version 7.2.
And what's different about the recent upgrade?
Recent upgrade has been pretty different than what we did last time. This time around, as the people who we work with, the businesses who we work with, are so well entrenched into the system and know the processes so well that they are after us to implement process A into Maximo and process B into Maximo. So instead of we driving the users are coming to us and driving that I want all these processes into Maximo. And it has been an initiative overload for the project team to deliver everything the user community is asking for in time.
Okay. And I know that every customer can customize Maximo to fit their needs. How do you see, how much customization has ADEWA done to Maximo?
Well, actually, when we take a history from Maximo 4 to 5, at that point in time, our systems very, very customized. The reason for that was that in the environment which we operate in, two things are very important. One is the commercial directory where the suppliers are registered, and the second is our purchasing and contracting module. Maximo 4 and 5 never had a contracting module, so all the processes around it were heavily customized. Maximo 7 has got a contracting module inbuilt, and we were able to decustomize a lot of Maximo, customized from Maximo 4 and 5 into Maximo 7, because the basic contract module was very, very good to cater for all our needs. So in essence, we have decustomized Maximo. Yes, we have got a lot of tabs and fields, but there's no major customization of the system as yet, as such.
Okay. And if I could ask you, what are some issues faced when business deploys asset management software?
I think the key thing which will come once again and again, there are basically a couple of things. I would like to it's a top-down approach, because if the management does not believe in it, the users will never use the system. So once you roll out a process in Maximo, the alternate process of either doing it manually or the system which is replacing should be removed. So there should be only one way of conducting a process. Second part is that the training is very important. And no matter how hard you train, here the culture is that people do not read that much. So even if you take them through training, you have to retrain them and retrain them so they can use the system effectively. And finally is that final part is that you have got a relationship wherever you are implementing Maximo. There is always a partner involved in eSolutions in our case. So it's very important that the client organization has got people who also have thorough knowledge of Maximo, and in most cases should be more experienced in Maximo than the solution provider has. And this aspect gives a very good check and balance, and very good high quality implementation can be done.
Okay, and finally, can you tell us what the future plans for ADEWA and Maximo are?
Well, ADEWA is turning into a Maximo-centric organization. We have embarked on a journey based on our growth of demand to supply water and power into a concept called smart utility. And in that concept, the smart utility concept is very, very technology driven. It's very, very data driven. And the way you look at it, Maximo is the core, becomes one of the baselines if you want to go into a smart utility, embark on a journey towards smart utility. Coming down a little bit, we have got immediate needs to implement a mobility solution and GIS integration. And after that, we look at integration into various SCADA systems, which will increase the footprint of Maximo where it has never gone before.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you very much.